What's up, guys? Coming to you today with a full slate of MLB action on Thursday, August 21st. We're going to give out plays on every MLB game on the slate. I'll give you my favorite underdog pick of the day and my massive lock, my pick that regardless of price, I think has the highest chance of cashing today. Slam that like button and subscribe to the channel to make sure you keep seeing these videos every single day, and let us know what you're thinking in the comments. I personally read and answer every comment I get. Check the pinned comment throughout the day to see our favorite picks, and you should definitely check back a couple of times throughout the day to see if there are any changes with injury news coming out and starters being confirmed. Yesterday, guys, was kind of a bloodbath. We've been running pretty hot. The premium picks have been running pretty hot. A day filled with anarchy out there in the MLB. We had Toronto to start things off at minus 150. A very annoying 2-1 loss there for the Blue Jays. Bassett was very good over his 5 2/3 innings, but the Pirates' whole pitching staff was lights out. That or the Blue Jays were just asleep at the plate because they couldn't hit water if they fell out of a boat yesterday. Now, we did cash the no-run first inning on the Mets-Washington Nationals game. A 5-4 win there for the Nationals, but no runs scored in the first couple of innings means we cashed that one. Thank you to Senga and Lord for helping us get that win. We had the Royals. That was a really rough one, guys. Had them at plus money. They blew it in the ninth inning. Cameron was bad, but the Rangers weren't amazing out of the gate, but Long gave up the game there for Kansas City in the top of the ninth, allowing 3 runs. Otherwise, they've been going into extras there with, the game tied up. So, yeah, home field advantage there, pretty key in extra innings. But they lose that one. We also had a push there on our over there on that Brewers Chicago Cubs game. Both starters weren't great, as we predicted, but we only get a push with both bullpens really showing up huge and neither offense going nuts. So that was a tough one to push instead of win. We also had the Cardinals as our dog of the day. They were plus 110. When it rains, it pours, guys. It was a 6-2 loss there for St. Louis. Alcantara was lights out over his 7 innings. Palante didn't live up to his good history there against the Marlins, and the Cardinals bats could not bail them out. We also had the Dodgers at minus 305. Not a lot of crazy locks that I was in love with out there today, and we went with the Dodgers thinking surely with Ohtani on the mound they figured out, well, turns out the massive lock of the day is officially cursed. We see Ohtani go out and get shelled there by the Rockies. The Dodgers take the 8-3 loss in a game where they actually made the Colorado Rockies look like a competent Major League Baseball team. So a disaster day yesterday, guys. We are going to be like a goldfish. If you watch Ted Lasso, we're going to try and be like a goldfish. We're going to wash that one out of the memory, and we're going to dive right back. And we actually have a pretty legit slate here on Thursday, so let's get after it. First up, we're going to look at the Sacramento Athletics going on the road to take on the Minnesota Twins. So far in this series, the Athletics have actually dominated. I mean, they haven't been blowout games necessarily, but they won 4-2 in Game 2, 6-3 in Game 1. So they're actually playing pretty well right now, winners of 4 out of their last 5. They're going to hand the ball in this game to Jack Perkins. He's sporting a 4.28 ERA. This young 25-year-old's been making some starts here. His last 3 outings all have been starts, and while the Athletics have won 2 out of those 3 outings, he hasn't looked great, giving up 3, 3, and 4 earned runs respectively. He also hasn't been terrible, and he's gotten tons of run support, so we'll see if that carries over to this game. Going up against the Twins shouldn't be that scary necessarily, but he has no history against them this year, so we'll see how that goes. I'm honestly expecting him to go out there and have a pretty good outing. Now, even if Perkins is good out there, I do worry a little bit. The Athletics bullpen is nothing too special. One of the worst 4 or 5 bullpens in the majors this season. So that's definitely an area of concern for this team. But the offense, they can hit it, guys. The Athletics can hit it. I mean, 4, 6, 5, 7, 10, 2, and 6 over their last few isn't even that special for a team that's 12th in the majors in runs scored this year, 4th in slugging percentage, 11th in on-base percentage. Like, there's some real bats in that lineup there for the Athletics. So we'll see what they can do here on the road against the Twins, whose season is looking pretty much over. They're 10 games below 500. They've lost 5 out of their last 6. Not a lot of positives. He's also dealt with some injuries down the stretch here. We don't have a confirmed starter yet for the Twins, which isn't a great sign necessarily, because if this ends up being a bullpen start for Minnesota, that bullpen's not good, guys. Bottom 10 in the majors, just a 4.24 bullpen ERA does not exactly get me going, and it's not like the rotation has been that great this season either. I mean, what have we seen in general from this squad? I mean, yeah, not great. 31 quality starts in the entire season. That's 27th in the majors. They're 23rd in batting average against. Like, this is just not a very good pitching staff. Now, the offense, pretty much the same boat, guys. Bottom third of the majors, even bottom 5 in some of the major categories, and they come into this one hitting the ball pretty poorly. I mean, 2, 3, 8. 5, 0, 3, and 4 over their last few games is not great. So we'll see what happens in this one. Looking at the numbers, the Athletics are minus 105. The Twins are minus 115. Got a total of 9.5 in this game. The Athletics are actually 31 and 33 on the road. Much better on the road than they are at home. They're 31, 27, and 6 to the over on the road. The Twins are 33 and 29 at home, 31, 28, and 3 to the under at home. I'm not going to get involved in that total of 9.5, except for maybe to lean slightly towards the under, but I do think the Athletics here at minus 105 is not a terrible value. We have to wait and see who's going to actually start this game for the Twins, but especially if it's a bullpen start, I think we see the Athletics get another win in this one. Next up, guys, we're looking at the Texas Rangers going on the road to take on the Kansas City Royals. The Rangers at 63-65 on the season have a lot of work to do. They did manage to eke out a 6-3 win there very late against the Royals yesterday. So that was a tilter for us, but they managed to make it happen. They're going to hand the ball in this game to Patrick Corbin. He's 6-9 this year, a 4.45 ERA, and his last time on the mound, one of his worst starts of the year, getting absolutely dismantled there by the Toronto Blue Jays. So we'll see if he can bounce back a little bit, although I will say his 3 starts before that, none of those were too impressive either. In terms of history of the season against the Royals, he did struggle against them back in mid-June in a 6-3 loss. He went 5 innings, gave up 6 hits, 4 earned runs, including a home run in that one, and yeah, just did not look great out there. So we'll see which version of Patrick Corbin we get here. There's a reality where this 36-year-old veteran is getting a little bit tired out there down the stretch. So we'll see how that goes. The Rangers bullpen's been good this year in general. Down the stretch, they've had a few bumps in the road, so I'm a little bit worried about the bullpen, and the offense hasn't been special at any point this season. I mean, 6 runs in their last game, cool, but 2, 3, 10, 2, 5, and 4 over their last several games. There's a reason this team is 24th in the majors in runs scored, 27th in batting average. Corey Seager at times feels like their entire offense, and that's not really a situation you want to find yourself in. So we'll see what they do here in Kansas City, taking on the Royals who have been playing great down the stretch, putting their name right back in that wild card discussion. They're 3 games above 500, handing the ball in this one to Michael Lorenzen. He's 5-8 this season, a 4.43 ERA. He was on the IL there for a little bit over a month, but came back and looked very good against the White Sox. 4 innings, 3 hits, no runs allowed. So obviously a bit of a shorter start, but even if he doesn't stay out there that long, the Royals bullpen's been excellent this year, so I don't think that's a huge concern in terms of history this season against the Rangers. Yeah, he has not faced the Rangers this year, but I'm expecting actually pretty good stuff from Lorenzen coming into this one, and he could probably go a little bit deeper into the game depending on how efficient he is with his pitches. Now, the offense for Kansas City is always a concern. They haven't been great at the plate this year. That being said, they've been hitting the ball a bit better over this, successful streak that they've had. When you're hitting the ball better against the Nationals and the White Sox is not so special, but that kind of continued against the Rangers, so I'm expecting them to find a way to get on the board in this game at least. Obviously, 28th in runs scored over the season is not great, but 17th in batting average, they're trying to make strides in the right direction. So looking at the numbers for this game, the Rangers are minus 105, the Royals are minus 115. We've got a total of 9 in this game. The Rangers are 25-39 on the road, 32-31-1 to the over on the road. The Royals are 35-29 at home, 39-24-1 to the under at home. There are actually 2 plays on this game that I think are very, very reasonable. First up, I definitely like the Royals here with Lorenzen on the mound. I think we'll see a low-scoring game. I think we'll likely see the Royals come out ahead in this one because, I don't see either one of these offenses going nuts, even if Corbin struggles or Lorenzen struggles. Both bullpens are excellent. So I do think the Royals are good here, but for all the reasons I just listed, I do also like under 9. I think we'll see offense be at an absolute premium. I think we'll see the Royals eventually win this game. Both those plays have a chance to make the pinned comment. Hey guys, hopping here with a quick shout out to the sponsor of today and every day's video, and that is StumpTheSpread.com. Click the link in the description to go over there and see the top confidence picks from our entire team of experienced cappers. Right now, our premium members are getting daily MLB, UFC, NFL preseason, and now very, very close coming up. Already posted over there in the premium section. We've got NFL regular season and regular season week 0, I think is what they're calling it. NCAA college football. So lots and lots of value over there. Major League Baseball has been our most profitable sport the last several seasons in a row and has had a great 2025 year so far. At StumpTheSpread.com, you'll be able to see exclusive free picks that are only posted there, our free to use bet size calculator, and our premium top confidence picks, which might not and usually will not always match what we see here in the videos, as I'm not the premium MLB handicapper over there at Stump the Spread. We've got a monster with many more years of experience, used some very sophisticated tools and algorithms, some very, very sophisticated stuff that he uses to make his predictions. Takes a crazy amount of data points into consideration on every single play, but even the best laid plans can sometimes go awry. You guys have seen what he's been doing over the last few days. He's been running very, very hot. Well, unfortunately, here on the 20th, we gave a little bit back. He had a tough day out there. The Royals blowing it late. That was a tough loss for him as well as for us. He had the no-run first inning there on that Reds Angels game, so that one did come through. He also had no-run first inning in that Rangers Royals game. That one bricked. He had the Astros. They can't seem to snap out of that funk. He's still got the Giants live right now, but they are losing, so that one might be in trouble. But we'll see. Definitely still drawing live in that one. But yeah, a tough day there on the 20th. But the way he's been running recently, you had to assume he's going to give some back at some point. So let's all keep the faith. Let's not panic. One bad day. It's part of the business. That's why we use bankroll management. That's why we've got that bankroll calculator, that bet size calculator, to make sure you don't bust your entire bankroll over there. So check that out at stumpthespread.com. Also get on the free email newsletter, guys. It's great information straight to your inbox every single day. At least one free pick in that email every single day. Oftentimes 2 picks. Information on niche sports betting like golf, tennis, NASCAR, WNBA is often covered in those free picks, and it's probably going to be a premium sport next year, so that may not be included in these emails next season. So definitely want to check in on that. All it takes is your name and your email address to get on that list. Check the link down in the description. That's how you get over there to stumpthespread.com, and it's very easy to sign up for a free account. So definitely get over there, check that out. Also, if you're a huge fan of what you're seeing from us here every single day, click the little join button right below the video to become a YouTube channel member. YouTube channel members get early access to all of our videos, get their name up on screen in every video, and also get access to our members only giveaways. We'll be doing one members only giveaway every single week. We'll be giving away another Stump the Spread hoodie here in 4 days. Here on the 25th, we'll be giving away another Stump the Spread hoodie to one random YouTube channel member. So definitely get in on that if you're interested, guys. But let's go ahead and dive back in. We're going to look at our next game on the slate, which is, like I said, a pretty reasonable slate for a Thursday. We've got the Milwaukee Brewers going on the road to take on the Chicago Cubs. The Brewers come into this game actually hitting a little bit of a slide. It's not that big of a deal. They've still got a 6-game cushion over the Cubs there in the NL Central. They've lost 3 in a row, though. They're going to hand the ball in this one to Quinn Priester. He's been pretty much amazing this year. This young 24-year-old's 11-2, a 3.48 ERA. He's coming off a good start there against the Reds. He did struggle in a rare bad outing there against the Mets, but the Brewers did eventually win that game. The last time he faced the Cubs, he was okay. He had to pitch out of a lot of trouble there, gave up 8 hits over his 5 2/3 innings, but only 2 runs, and we eventually see the Brewers win that game 9-3. So we'll see what he can do in this one. Obviously, it's been a long, lengthy winning streak. Seems like the Cubs win every time he's on the mound. His history against them this year is a little bit suspect, a little bit worrisome. So we'll see. We'll see what he can do in this outing. Obviously, the Brewers bullpen has shown drastic improvement down the stretch this season, so that's been great. If you're a Brewers fan, they've been much, much more consistent there coming out of the pen. The offense, while it did come into this series looking pretty good, they won the first game there 7-0, and now they're going to be playing the last game. There's a makeup game mixed in there. They've had all kinds of weather problems in this game, playing double headers and all kinds of stuff. But yeah, 7 in game 1, but 4, 1, and 3 over the next few games. So we'll see if they can get back after it. This is the second highest scoring team in the majors. They're second in batting average, second in on-base percentage. I do expect the Brewers to figure it out here. That is pretty much been their MO all season long. So we'll see what they can do here against the Cubs. They come into this game 73-54 on the season. They've won 5 out of their last 6. They're going to hand the ball in this one to Shota Imanaga. He's 8-5 on the year, a 3.06 ERA. His last start, he was lights out against the Pirates. The last time he faced the Brewers back on July 30th. 5 innings, 5 hits, 3 earned runs allowed, walked 0 and struck out 8 in a 10-3 win for the Cubs. So very good stuff there from Imanaga. Obviously got tons of run support. Not something he's always been able to rely on this season, I will say that. He has faced the Brewers one other time back in early May, and he was good in that outing, but the Cubs lost 4-0. So we'll see what he can do in this one. Looking at the bullpen for the Cubs, they've been pretty good this year and a little bit lackluster down the stretch, but not terrible. Not going to start casting aspersions upon the Cubs bullpen. It's been excellent. The offense hasn't been hitting the cover off the ball, but they've been doing enough to get the job done. 4-4-6, 0-4-3 over their last few is not the norm for a team that's currently 6th in the majors in runs scored and 5th in slugging percentage. So they're going to figure it out at some point. Will it be here against Priester? Well, they've got pretty good history against the kid. Now, looking at the numbers here, the Brewers are plus 122. The Cubs are minus 145. A total of 7 in this game. Milwaukee is 37-27 on the road. 31-2 to the over-under on the road. The Cubs are 40-22 at home. 30-27-5 to the under at home. Once again, I actually think over 7 is live in this game. I know the wind isn't necessarily in our favor there at Wrigley, but neither starter really has amazing history against this opponent. So we'll see. I do think over 7 is in play. Is it going to be in the pinned comment again? Probably not. In terms of a side, I am going to lean a bit towards the Brewers here. Maybe Priester figures it out. Maybe their offense figures out Imanaga a little bit. And getting plus 122 on the Brewers seems like a pretty good deal. But is that going to go in the pinned comment? It's a little bit borderline, but it is a shorter slate, so this is going to go on the list as a potential dog of the day. Next on the docket, we're looking at the LA Dodgers going on the road to take on the Colorado Rockies. The Dodgers let us down majorly there yesterday with that 8-3 loss. It's been wild to see what's going on with the Dodgers here down the stretch. Obviously, they were super locked in for that series against the Padres, and obviously not super locked in for this series against the Rockies, but we'll see if they can bounce back here. They're going to hand the ball to Clayton Kershaw. He's 7-2 this year, a 3.01 ERA. This veteran has thrown the ball great. His last 3 starts, he's given up a combined total of 2 earned runs, and the Dodgers are 3-0 over those starts. So I'm expecting him to go out there and absolutely dominate against the Rockies, a team he dominated back on June 26th. And again, the Dodgers only won 3-1, so let's not freak out too much, but definitely think this is a good spot here for Kershaw and a good spot for the Dodgers to bounce back. Obviously, their bullpen is a concern this season. A 4.19 bullpen ERA has not been super helpful. The offense coming up with only 3 runs there yesterday. It's been kind of a seesaw situation. 3-11, 3-5, 6-3, and 5 over their last few games. Not hitting the cover off the ball. They are still first in the majors in runs scored and 4th in batting average. I'm expecting them to figure it out, and they'll probably figure it out in this game if I'm being completely honest, because the Rockies, while they've played a lot better down the stretch at 37-90 on the year, there's a reason, guys. This team is pretty bad. They're going to hand the ball to Chase Dollander in this one. This young 23-year-old is 2-9 on the season, a 6.43 ERA. His last time on the mound, he got knocked around pretty aggressively there by the Diamondbacks. Now, the offense did save him, but the Dodgers pitching staff is just a little bit better than the Diamondbacks, I'll say that. The last time he faced the Dodgers, he was okay. 5 2/3 innings, 3 hits, 3 earned runs allowed. But that was a game we saw the Rockies lose 8-1. So in a bounce back spot here for the Dodgers, I don't expect Dollander to have a great time. I also expect the Rockies bullpen to struggle. It's one of the worst bullpens in the majors. And the offense, while they've been hitting the ball weirdly well recently, I just don't think that continues here against a guy like Clayton Kershaw, who's going to be very locked in. You know that he knows that his team is only a game and a half up on the Padres there. It looks like it's going to be 1 game up on the Padres in the NL West. So they need these wins. I think Kershaw's going to go out there and absolutely deal. So looking at the numbers for this game, the Dodgers are minus 285. The Rockies are plus 230. The Dodgers, a game below 500 on the road, 33-25-1 to the under on the road. The Rockies are 20-44 at home. That's an MLB worst home mark. They are a slight under team at home. I'm not interested in that total of 12 in this game, but I am certainly interested in taking the Dodgers here at minus 1.5. I'm not messing around making them the lock of the day. We're going to actually change strategies a little bit, try and snap that curse on the lock of the day. But I do think taking the Dodgers at minus 1.5 at minus 210 or minus 190 might even be worth a look, but still a very expensive price. Seems unlikely to make the pinned comment. Rolling through these games, we've got the New York Mets headed to Washington to take on the Nationals. The Mets looked annoyingly mediocre, losing 5-4 there yesterday, but that's kind of been the story of their season. They're only, 8 games above 500. They'll hand the ball in this one to Sean Manaea. He's 1-1 on the year, a 4.78 ERA. His last 3 starts have been very worrying if you're a Mets fan. All those games were losses for the Mets. He's doing 5, 4, and 4 earned runs respectively, and just not looking the sharpest. We'll see if he can bounce back here against the Nationals. Not a team he's faced this season. Obviously, he came back late in the year. They're off the IL, but we'll see what he looks like. This is a bounce back opportunity. Will he take advantage of it? That remains to be seen. Now, the Mets bullpen was among the best bullpens in the majors for quite some time this year, but that hasn't been the case lately necessarily, up to a 3.83 bullpen ERA. And the offense, just not good enough based on how insane their, salary situation is, but they're 13th in runs scored. They're 19th in batting average. They're getting a little bit banged up there in terms of injuries and stuff like that, so that's not ideal right now. They're 6.5 games back of the Phillies. I don't think they're going to be catching the Phillies, so yeah, I'm a little bit worried about the Mets at the plate, but they did just have a pretty good series there against the Mariners, and they scored 8 runs in game 1 of this series, so maybe I'm overreacting. Now, the Nationals, they come into this game obviously well out of contention for anything. They'll hand the ball in this one to Mackenzie Gore. This young 26-year-old lefty is 5-12 on the year, a 4.04 ERA. His last couple of starts, though, he started, seems like he's figuring it out. A very good outing there against the Giants. They're terrible, but striking out 10 and giving up no runs over 6 innings against any major league team is very good work. He followed that up with a good outing there against the Phillies. Being a lefty going against the Phillies is pretty nice. He's 6 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs allowed in that one. It was a 6-2 loss, but he did throw the ball well. So we'll see what he can do here against the Mets, a team he faced back in early-ish June and was actually very good, a game the Nationals eventually lost 5-4. So we'll see how it goes here for Mackenzie Gore in the Nationals. Their bullpen's obviously a huge problem, one of the worst bullpens in the majors, and the offense hasn't been anything special. They are 20th in runs scored and 20th in batting average. Not the worst offense in the majors, but also nothing you're going to really celebrate too often. So looking at the numbers for this game, the Mets are minus 140. The Nationals are plus 120. Got a total of 8 out there. The Mets are 26 and 34 on the road, so a pretty bad road team. 31, 25, and 4 to the under on the road. The Nationals are 24 and 39 at home, so not very good at home. 32, 28, and 3 to the over at home. I do think over 8 is actually not out of the question in this game, but I also like Mackenzie Gore to go out there and have a good outing. Manaea has been so bad lately, I don't even know if he's going to bounce back here against the Nationals. So Washington at plus 120 is actually going on my list as probably a not too unreasonable dog of the day. Next on the docket, guys, we're looking at the San Francisco Giants going on the road to take on the San Diego Padres. The Giants at 61 and 65 on the year, not having a great time. They're down by 5 right now in the bottom of the 6th, so not looking too hot in Game 3 of this series. In Game 4, they're going to hand the ball to Justin Verlander. I tip my hat to this 42-year-old going out there on the Major League mound every 5 days, but he's 1-9 on the season, a 4.23 ERA. All that being said, he did everything you could possibly ask him to do in, what is it up to now, 4 out of his last 5 starts, and just can't hardly seem to get anything out of them. I mean, 7 innings, 2 hits, no runs allowed, no walks, and struck out 8 in a 2-1 loss against Tampa Bay his last time on the mound. Like, that is absolutely brutal. So we'll see what he can do here against the Padres. Obviously, Verlander does come into this game throwing the ball well, but it just feels like he, like our lock of the day, is cursed to never get any run support from his team. So we'll see how that goes. Obviously, the Giants' bullpen's been excellent this year. That's not the problem. The problem is their lack of offense. I mean, 1 run in their current game, 1 run the game before that. They're 25th in runs scored. They're 26th in batting average, and it's not improving. Like, this offense is just flat out terrible. So we'll see what they can do here against the Padres, who come into this game obviously 70 and 56 on the year, a game and a half back of the Dodgers. They've been playing a little bit better, but getting swept there by the Dodgers kind of messed things up. They're going to hand the ball in this one to Dylan Cease, who's 5-11 on the year, a 4.61 ERA, but he had been throwing the ball a lot better for a couple outings, but got knocked around by the Dodgers the last time he was on the mound. In terms of his history this year against the Giants, he did face them back in early June. 5 innings, 5 hits, 3 earned runs in a 3-2 loss. Really nothing too special. So we'll see which version of Dylan Cease we get in this one. They're going to need him to be decent. The Giants' bullpen has always been very, very good all year long, but the Padres' bullpen's been even better. A 2.93 bullpen ERA is excellent, excellent stuff, and I don't see that slowing down at any point. Now, the offensive production has also been a big problem here for the Padres. They're 22nd in runs scored. They're 9th in batting average, 10th in on-base percentage, but 25th in slugging percentage. I mean, 6, 5, 3, 4, and 0 over their last few. This just isn't the hottest hitting team. So looking at the numbers, guys, the Giants are plus 145. The Padres are minus 170. We've got a total of 8 in this game. The Giants are 31 and 32 on the road, 32, 27, and 4 to the over on the road. The Padres are 39 and 21 at home, 33, 25, and 2 to the under at home. I actually think this is an okay spot to back under 8. I don't think we're going to see a lot of offense in this game from these two teams against these two pitchers. In terms of a side, I will take the Padres, but minus 170 isn't my favorite price, and a lot of this is based on the fact that they just never help out Verlander at all. So yeah, a small lean there. I actually like the under better than the side. Rolling along here, guys, we got one of the most exciting games on the slate. We've got the Boston Red Sox headed to Yankee Stadium to take on the Yankees. Now, the Red Sox, they're currently 5.5 games back there in the AL East. They just lost a 2-game series there against the Baltimore Orioles, so that's a pretty bad look. But overall, they've been doing some positive things. They're going to hand the ball in this one to Lucas Giolito, who's 8-2 on the year, a 3.63 ERA. He's fresh off a very good start there against the Marlins, where Boston won 2-1. Over his last 5 starts, Boston is 4-1, so they're doing some damage when he's on the mound. In terms of his history this year against the Yankees, wait, has he managed to not face the Yankees this season? Oh, wait, I guess Giolito has not faced the Yankees at all this year. Okay, we'll see how that goes. The Red Sox bullpen has been amazing this season, top 3, top 4 in the majors, so that's a big, big plus there behind a pretty solid starter. The offense is sputtering a little bit. 3 runs in each of their last 3 games. Not ideal for a team that's 4th in runs scored this year, 7th in batting average, and 7th in on-base percentage. Like, this is an excellent offensive team. They're just not swinging the hottest bats right now. So we'll see what they can do here at Yankee Stadium, taking on their rivals who have won 5 straight games and 7 of their last 8. They're 4 games back of Toronto. Now they're going to hand the ball in this one to Luis Gil. He's 1-1 on the year, a 5.14 ERA. After a couple kind of rocky starts to get his season going, not starting back until August 3rd. His last time on the mound, he looked a lot better. It was against the Cardinals, 5 1/3 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run allowed, walked 3, and struck out 4. Is he going to be able to replicate that against the Red Sox? I have a hard time seeing that. Maybe he can be okay, but even if he is good, that Yankees bullpen has not been reliable down the stretch. A 4.23 bullpen ERA this season is definitely a problem they're going to want to figure out at some point before the playoffs start. The offense, though, has been bailing them out. It did take them extra innings, and Stanton hit a home run there in extras in the last game of that series against Tampa Bay, so great. But 6, 13, 8, 12, 4, and 1 over their last few games. They're hitting it again. They're third in the majors in runs scored. They're eighth in batting average. So a lot of reasons to like the Yankees at the plate right now. In terms of the numbers for this game, the Red Sox are plus 115. The Yankees are minus 135. Got a total of 8.5 out there. Boston's 27-34 on the road, 34-26-1 to the over on the road. That's actually an MLB best to the over. The Yankees, they're 37-25 at home, 34-26-2 to the under at home. I actually think under might not be insane in this game, but I'm not getting too involved in that. An 8.5 number is not that big. In terms of a side, I'm going to lean a bit towards the Red Sox. I don't trust Luis Gil. The Red Sox are getting plus money in this one. Definitely games they desperately need to win. Give me Boston. I like Giolito a good amount. Rounding into the home stretch here, guys, we're looking at the Houston Astros going on the road to take on the Baltimore Orioles. The Astros come into this game not having the best time. They lost 4 in a row. Trammell getting, running himself into that wall was pretty brutal. Getting carted off, that's not a great look. Getting swept by the Tigers, also not a great look, and scoring a grand total of 2 runs over those 3 games and 2 runs over their last 4 games. Pretty embarrassing. We'll see if they can bounce back at the plate. They're going to hand the ball in this one to Jason Alexander. He's 3-1 on the season, a 4.74 ERA, and honestly, his last 4 starts have been excellent. And those are starts against Washington, Miami, the Yankees, and the Baltimore Orioles. So to be back-to-back starts against the Orioles, the last time he faced them, we did eventually see Houston win that game in 12 innings. He went 6 innings, gave up 3 hits, 2 earned runs, walked 0, and struck out 6. So I'm expecting pretty good stuff from Jason Alexander in this outing. We'll see if the bullpen can back him up well. Obviously, Houston's been a pretty solid bullpen this year, but not as lights out down the stretch as they were in the early goings. The offense has been the big problem. Like we were discussing, guys, they're swinging some of the worst bats in the majors right now. Ice cold. They're 21st in runs scored. They're 15th in slugging percentage, so not expecting miracles from Houston at the plate. Now, they're taking on the Orioles, who come into this game playing great. They've won 6 out of their last 7. They still are 8 games below 500. They'll hand the ball in this one to Brandon Young. He's 1-6 on the year, a 5.68 ERA, but he's coming off his best start of the season where he absolutely dominated the Astros over 8 innings. 8 innings, 1 hit, no runs allowed, struck out 6, and walked 0 in a 7-0 win. All that being said, this is an Astros team that's very, very due to do something, and this kid's coming off pitching 8 innings. I mean, I'm sure he hasn't gone 8 innings in any other game this season. No, hasn't even been close. When he went 6 innings, he struggled a little bit in the next start there against the Cubs. So we'll see what Brandon Young can do. We'll see. Obviously, the Baltimore bullpen's nothing to write home about. That's been a big problem this year in the offense. While they've been swinging the bats a lot better recently, hasn't been insane. They are up to 18th in runs scored and 24th in on-base percentage. So I got to give them some credit, but still not an offense that really terrifies me. Now looking at the numbers for this game, the odds makers have it as a flip. Both teams are listed at minus 110. We've got a total of 9 out there. Houston's a 500 road team, 29-28-5 to the over on the road. Baltimore's a 500 a home team, 30-28-2 to the over at home. Overall, in this game, guys, I'd rather back Jason Alexander than Brandon Young coming off an 8-inning appearance. I know he just dominated in this matchup, but it's not like Jason Alexander was too bad either. I do think we see the Astros come away with the win in this one. Do I have the guts to put it in the pinned comment with how bad this team's swinging the bats? Probably not, but I wouldn't blame anyone for being braver than me and getting it on their ticket. Last but not least, we're looking at the St. Louis Cardinals going on the road to take on the Tampa Bay Rays. Going from Miami to Tampa Bay, not too tough of a trip there. They did win 2 out of 3 against the Marlins, but still 2 games below 500. They've definitely got their work cut out for them if they want to try and make a playoff push. They're going to hand the ball in this one to Sonny Gray. He's 11-6 on the season, a 4.30 ERA. He got shelled by the Yankees his last time out, so that's a bit of a tough look. He was throwing the ball great before that. Good starts against the Cubs and Dodgers. The last time he faced Tampa, or has he faced Tampa Bay this year? I'm not sure if he's faced the Rays this season. No, he has not faced the Rays this year. So we'll see how that goes. Sonny Gray, not super consistent this year. That's been a bit of a problem. Now, the Cardinals' bullpen's been consistently very solid down the stretch, a 3.60 bullpen ERA. I'm not about to cry about that, but the offense has fallen off drastically. I mean, 2, 7, and 8 runs there in that series against the Marlins isn't that bad, but going from being like 4th or 5th in the majors in runs scored all the way down to 15th, and, 4th or 5th in batting average all the way down to 13th, and their slugging percentage numbers are terrible. This is not a team that I'm scared of at the plate any longer. So we'll see what they do here against the Rays. At 61-66 on the year, their season is looking like it's, headed in the wrong direction. They're going to hand the ball in this one to Joe Boyle. He's 1-2 on the year, a 4.68 ERA. His last few starts have not been great. I guess he did have a good one in there against the Dodgers, but struggling against the Giants your last time on the mound is not a good look. That is a pretty weak hitting team. So we'll see if he can bounce back here going up against the Cardinals. He hasn't faced St. Louis this year, but yeah, we'll see. The Rays bullpen's been decent, not elite this season over the last 40 or so games. The offense really has let this team down the stretch. So all the way down to 14th in runs scored and 19th in on-base percentage. This was a very scary offense maybe 2 months ago, but now, guys, the wheels have kind of come off. I mean, 4-3, 1-2, 7, and 8 over their last few games isn't even that bad for a team that's been struggling so aggressively at the plate. So looking at the numbers for this one, the Cardinals are minus 120, the Rays are plus 100. We've got a total of 8.5 in this game. St. Louis is 28-34 on the road, 31-28-3 to the over on the road. Tampa Bay 32-31 at home, 35-25-3 to the under at home. Maybe you could talk me into under 8.5. I'm not in love with that. Much better than that, though. I'll take the Cardinals at minus 120. If you're asking me to pick between Sonny Gray and Joe Boyle, I know Sonny Gray hasn't been amazing this year. He is in a bounce back spot after a terrible start. I do think we see him bounce back here and throw the ball great in this matchup, and I think that'll be enough to get the Cardinals the win. Guys, that's all the games we have here for today. Hit that like button for good luck on all of your bets and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Let me know in the comments any questions you have on today's slate. I'm more than happy to get back to you, and I at least read, if not read and answer every single comment. Thank you all for watching. Make sure you're clicking the link down there in the description to check out stumpthespread.com. There's lots of great information over there. Definitely want to check in on those premium picks that are now in a massive bounce back spot. And you got to get on that free email newsletter, guys. It's fantastic information straight to your inbox every single day. Guys, we'll see you right back here tomorrow. Same time, same place for more sports betting action.